I'm staring at my phone. It's 11:47 p.m. The security camera app just sent me an alert. Someone is at my house in Vermont. I open the live feed. My father is holding a gasoline can. My mother is directing him with a flashlight. My sister stands behind them, watching. They're about to burn down my house. I have 90 seconds to stop them. But this story doesn't start here. It starts 72 hours after my graduation, when I walked into the biggest ambush of my life. I was 24. I just finished my master's degree. On graduation day, I stood outside the auditorium watching families celebrate together. The seats I'd reserved for my parents were empty. Not because they were delayed. Not because they were busy. Because they chose not to come. That night, my mother called. "We need you to come home," she said. "There's something important to discuss. Think of it as a fresh start." Fresh start. The word sounded hopeful. I should have known better. 72 hours later, I pulled into the driveway of my childhood home. From the outside, everything looked perfect. Trimmed lawn, clean windows, peaceful. I opened the front door. No congratulations. No smiles. No warmth. The living room had been rearranged. A long table stood in the center. Stacks of legal documents sat on top. 2 men in dark suits. Lawyers. My parents at the head of the table. My younger sister beside them. She didn't look surprised. She already knew. My mother slid the documents toward me. "This is just a formality," she said. "Your grandparents left you the Vermont house and their investments. We've discussed it as a family. Your sister should receive everything instead." I picked up the first page. Full transfer of assets. No protections. No conditions. That house wasn't just property. When my parents fought, my grandparents gave me safety. They believed in my education. They believed in my future. Those investments weren't just money. They were years of planning meant to give me independence. My father leaned forward. "You're older. You'll manage. Your sister needs security." They placed a pen in front of me. I didn't pick it up. Instead, I looked at them calmly. "That's interesting," I said, "because I brought someone with me." The door behind me opened. My grandparents' attorney walked in. The man who wrote their will. The man who understood their intentions better than anyone in that room. He picked up the document. "Read it." Then turned to their lawyers. "This contract is invalid," he said. "Any attempt to pressure my client into signing qualifies as coercion. If this continues, legal action will follow immediately." Silence. My mother's face went pale. My sister started crying. My father called me ungrateful. Their words had no power anymore. We left without signing anything. I thought it was over. I was wrong. The call started the next morning. First polite, then emotional, then aggressive. When I stopped answering, they showed up at my apartment. When I wouldn't open the door, letters appeared in my mailbox. None were signed. Every message felt like a warning. I didn't respond, but I saved everything. A few weeks later, I drove to Vermont to check on the house. The front door was broken. Inside, furniture overturned. Drawers pulled out. Family photographs shattered on the floor. And red paint. One word across the wall. Thief. Here's what mattered. Nothing was missing. This wasn't theft. This was intimidation. I called the police. Filed a report. Then I made 3 decisions. 1. Install security cameras. Every angle. Every entrance. 2. Reinforce locks. Motion sensors. Alerts sent directly to my phone. 3. I waited. Because I knew they'd come back. 3 nights later, at 11:47 p.m., my phone lit up. Motion detected. I opened the app. And there they were. My father. My mother. My sister. All 3 of them. My father carried the gasoline can. My mother held the flashlight, directing him toward the side of the house. My sister stood near the car, watching. No hesitation. No second thoughts. They were going to burn it down. I called 911. "There are 3 people on my property right now," I said. "One is carrying gasoline. I believe they're about to commit arson. I have them on camera." The dispatcher stayed on the line. The cameras kept recording. 6 minutes later, red and blue lights flooded the driveway. My father dropped the can. My mother tried to explain. My sister started crying. But the footage didn't lie. The officers arrested all 3 of them that night. At the station, there was no room for excuses. The cameras had captured everything. Their faces, their actions, their intent. Charges were filed. Fines were issued. But the real damage? That was to their reputations. In a small town, everyone knows everyone. And now everyone knew what they'd tried to do. Months later, I moved into the Vermont house. I repaired the damage slowly, replaced the broken furniture, rehung the photographs, restored my grandmother's garden. Every repair felt like reclaiming something stolen. With part of the inheritance, I created a scholarship fund in my grandparents' name. It supports students pursuing education without family support, because that was their real gift to me. Not the money, not the property, the belief that I mattered. If you've ever been told you're selfish for protecting yourself, if you've ever been called ungrateful for refusing to be controlled, if you've ever felt invisible to the people who were supposed to love you, remember this. Their failure does not define your worth. Letting go of toxic family is painful. There's grief. There's guilt. There's the loss of the family you hoped they'd become. But on the other side of that pain, peace, clarity, independence, the freedom to build a life that honors who you actually are, not who they demanded you be. I've left some resources in the description for anyone navigating family estrangement or dealing with inheritance disputes. If this story made you feel less alone, the algorithm doesn't care. But I do. So if you think someone else needs to hear this, you know what to do. You don't owe anyone access to your peace. Not even family. Especially not family. Thank you for listening. If you love this story, like and subscribe to be notified of more real, emotional stories. Share how you felt about this story in the comment section.